Have you ever scrolled through social media and felt a pang of jealousy while looking at couples who seem perfect? You're not alone. In fact, over 60% of people say social media makes them feel insecure about their relationships. Shocking, right? Many of us compare our love lives to those glossy images and fairy tale stories. But here's the truth, those idealized relationships often don't exist in real life. According to research, 1 in 3 couples report feeling more pressure to appear happy online than they do in person. This pressure can lead to unrealistic expectations and dissatisfaction. But what if I told you that chasing these so-called relationship goals could actually hurt your happiness? In this video, we will explore why many popular relationship goals are not just unrealistic but can also create more stress in your love life. We'll dive into the myths of the perfect couple, the dangers of comparison, and how to focus on what truly matters in a relationship. Get ready to discover practical strategies for building a real connection based on growth, support, and authenticity. It's time to redefine what it means to have a happy, healthy relationship. Join me on this journey to uncover the truth behind relationship goals. Chapter 1: The Perfect Couple Myth. Social media often shows us couples who seem flawless. They're traveling together, laughing, always looking deeply in love. It's easy to believe these couples have figured out the secret to happiness. But here's the truth, much of it is staged. In fact, studies show that 48% of social media users admit to only sharing positive aspects of their lives, not the struggles. So, what we see is just a tiny piece of the picture, and it's often carefully curated. Dr. Brené Brown, a leading researcher on vulnerability, says that true connection comes from authenticity, not perfection. In her book Daring Greatly, she notes, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. Real love isn't about looking perfect, it's about being brave enough to be imperfect together. Instead of seeking couple goals, try focusing on how honest and comfortable you feel with your partner. One strategy here is to reduce screen time when together. Instead of scrolling through perfect couples, spend time actually connecting. According to the American Psychological Association, couples who spend more time talking face-to-face report 50% higher relationship satisfaction. Setting aside devices and looking at each other, talking openly, can bring you closer than any Instagram-worthy photo ever will. Chapter 2: The Danger of Comparisons. Comparison is a sneaky thief of joy, especially in relationships. When we see other couples looking so happy, it's easy to think, why aren't we like that? But comparing relationships is tricky because, as experts say, every relationship is unique. No one else knows the small, beautiful moments you share with your partner. They don't see the little ways you support each other daily. A famous quote from the 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman reminds us, each person's love language is unique, and what works for one couple may not work for another. So, instead of comparing, work on understanding and embracing your unique love language with your partner. Maybe you both feel closer through words of affirmation or acts of service. Identifying this can make a huge difference. A helpful exercise is to list things you genuinely appreciate about your partner and relationship. Research by Dr. Robert Emmons at UC Davis shows that expressing gratitude increases happiness by up to 25%. By focusing on the positive aspects of your own relationship, you'll feel more fulfilled and less distracted by what others are doing. And remember, even couples who seem perfect online have their own challenges. They're just not posting about it. Chapter 3: Authenticity over Aesthetics. We live in a world where aesthetic relationships are often admired. People love photos of matching outfits, romantic getaways, and picture-perfect dinners. But these things don't equal real love. In fact, studies suggest that people who spend a lot of time posting about their relationships online often feel more insecure about them. One study from Northwestern University found that people who post more frequently about their romantic relationships feel less secure in their connection. It's tempting to want to prove our relationships are great through social media, but real connection happens offline. Esther Perel, a renowned relationship therapist, says in her book Mating in Captivity, love is messy. It's anything but smooth and photogenic. The real strength of a relationship isn't in how it looks but in how it feels. It's in how you listen, forgive, and show up for each other when things aren't picture perfect. One strategy to try is setting boundaries around social media. This could mean not sharing every detail of your relationship or even keeping some parts entirely private. Research from the University of Kansas found that couples who share fewer personal details online report higher levels of trust. When you're not focused on presenting a certain image, you can invest in genuine quality time. Instead of spending energy curating a perfect look, think about small, meaningful actions. Studies show that small daily gestures, a thoughtful text, a hand squeeze, a compliment, are what build long-lasting happiness. According to research from psychologist John Gottman, couples who make these small deposits of positivity daily report the highest levels of satisfaction. Real connection isn't flashy, it's often the quiet moments that no one else sees. Chapter 4: Why Forever Might Be the Wrong Goal. We're often told that the ultimate goal in love is to find forever. But what if aiming for forever makes things harder? Studies show that relationships focused only on longevity can end up feeling stagnant. According to Dr. Eli Finkel, a relationship researcher and author of The All or Nothing Marriage, aiming for growth instead of forever can create a more fulfilling relationship. His research found that couples who actively support each other's personal growth report much higher relationship satisfaction. Instead of thinking, "How can we stay together forever?" try asking, "How can we grow together?" This shift in focus can make a huge difference. For example, encourage each other's personal goals and interests. Research shows that couples who respect each other's individuality are more likely to stay happy. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who encourage each other's growth feel more committed. One strategy to try is setting relationship growth goals. These are small, mutual goals that keep you both learning and growing together. Maybe you start a new hobby, learn a language, or take a trip to a place you've never been. Research from psychological science shows that new, shared experiences activate the same dopamine pathways in the brain as romantic love, keeping that spark alive. Working toward goals together creates a sense of excitement and partnership that goes beyond a simple forever. Chapter 5: Redefining Success in Relationships. The idea of a successful relationship often feels rigid. People think it's about having a big house, a great career, and hitting milestones. But a truly successful relationship isn't measured by status or achievements. According to Dr. John Gottman, a relationship researcher with over 40 years of experience, success is more about emotional support, kindness, and respect. Gottman's research has shown that couples who focus on small, daily acts of kindness are more likely to stay happy long-term. Instead of measuring success by external factors, start looking at how your relationship feels day to day. Ask yourself, do we laugh together? Do we support each other's dreams? Do we feel safe being ourselves? These questions can guide you better than any traditional measure of success. A useful exercise here is the daily appreciation practice, where you both take a minute every day to say one thing you appreciate about the other. It could be as simple as, "Thank you for listening to me," or, "I love that you always make me laugh." Dr. Robert Emmons' research shows that practicing gratitude daily can increase happiness by up to 25%. Another strategy is creating connection rituals that strengthen your bond. It could be a weekly date night, a morning coffee together, or a nightly check-in. According to Gottman, couples who have regular, intentional rituals report higher levels of relationship satisfaction. It's these small, consistent acts that build a strong foundation. When you focus on making each day enjoyable together, you're building a truly successful relationship, one filled with love, support, and genuine happiness. Chapter 6: The Power of Individual Happiness. One of the biggest myths in relationships is that your partner is responsible for making you happy. In reality, happiness comes from within. Dr. Margaret Paul, a relationship expert, explains that people in happy relationships are usually happy with themselves first. Her research has found that relationships where both partners have high levels of self-worth and independence are generally the most successful. Instead of relying on your partner for happiness, focus on nurturing your own passions, friendships, and well-being. Studies show that couples who maintain individual interests report higher relationship satisfaction. A study from the Journal of Social Psychology found that people who pursue personal happiness are more likely to experience positive relationships because they bring joy and resilience into the partnership. So, try to cultivate your own hobbies and interests outside of the relationship. It can make you feel more fulfilled and bring fresh energy to your love life. One helpful practice is to make time for self-care and personal reflection. This could mean spending time journaling, going for a walk, or taking a class you've always wanted to try. Research shows that people who dedicate time to personal growth have higher self-esteem, which translates to healthier relationships. In her book Attached, Dr. Amir Levine writes, "A secure base in a relationship allows us to be the best versions of ourselves. When you feel secure with yourself, you're better able to show up for your partner in a healthy way." Finally, consider practicing mindfulness together. Studies show that couples who meditate or do mindfulness exercises together experience lower stress and higher relationship satisfaction. A study published in Mindfulness found that couples who practice mindfulness together report feeling more connected and empathetic. By focusing on your own happiness and sharing that peace with your partner, you create a relationship built on mutual respect, support, and genuine connection. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on creating meaningful connections in your relationships. Your journey to love and happiness starts here.